Hello friends, this is Karan from Technofoil.com and today we will disassemble this Sony E-series laptop. The model number is SVE14A15FN. We'll go ahead and clean the CPU fan too. You can disassemble any laptop which opens from the back, including most of the models from Sony and other brands. So let us begin. So here are the things that you will need. The first is the screwdriver set. I am using a Jackley 32-in-1 set which has all types of connectors. The second one is the thermal grease to apply on the processor. You can buy it online or maybe in a computer store. The third thing is a clean cotton cloth to rub off any dust and clean the insides of the laptop. So that will be it. Let's start with the disassembling. So to start with disassembling, we will first need to remove the battery. To remove the battery, you need to slide the lock, the first one and the second one, and then just pull out the battery. So here it comes, we'll keep it aside. Now one tip I would like to share you for disassembling any appliance or laptop or anything is that when you remove the screws, just place it in the exact position as they are now so that you remember the location of each screw, as the sizes of screw may vary. So in laptop case, the screws on the edges are a bit longer and thicker, and on the middle it is a bit shorter, so remember that. So we'll start with the disassembling. The first thing we will remove is the hard disk. So to remove the hard disk, we need to remove those two screws. So let's just go ahead and remove it. I'll just remove the cover. Okay, so here you can get the hard disk. The hard disk is also fixed using two screws, so you need to remove that to completely remove the hard disk. So I'll just slide the hard disk, and you can see this is a mechanical hard disk with SATA connections. Okay, so we'll just keep it aside. Next I'll go ahead and remove all the remaining screws. The one thing you need to remember is if your laptop is of different brand, that is Dell or other HP laptops, so they open up from the front. So what you need to check is the 4 or 5 notches present above the keyboard. So first you remove the keyboard, then the touchpad, then some 2-3 screws below it. Then you just flip the laptop over, you remove the screws on the back, and then you again shift to the front to remove the front panel. And this is how you disassemble a Dell or any other laptop. So what I suggest is you just search the internet for your model and just see what is the procedure before proceeding. So we have removed all the screws and including the battery ones. Okay, so do remember to remove all the screws. Also check for screws that are behind the stickers. So we are done with all the screws, including the 2 little one on the top here. So we'll just slide the DVD-ROM, which is kind of easy, and it is attached using only one screw, that is this one. Next we'll go ahead and remove the back panel. The whole back panel will come off. So this is our back panel with all the dust. You can clean it off using the cotton cloth. This is how it looks inside of a laptop with a single PCB and so many connections. So the first thing that you'll spot is the CPU fan connected to the Intel i5 processor and the AMD graphic processor. So the AMD processors tend to heat up pretty much easily, so you have a CPU fan connection on the processor, which is not the case with NVIDIA graphic cards. So the next thing we need to find is the RAM. This is the empty slot, and I have my 4 GB RAM connected over here. So let me just zoom in. So this one is the RAM. You can remove it, and you can just rub off the dust on the golden connections using a rubber. Next, we need to remove all the screws that are connecting the CPU fan with the processor, and also some individual screws. So these are the 4 screws for the Intel processor and 2 screws for the graphic processor. So I'll just go ahead and remove it. You do need to remove the connector of the CPU fan that is powering it up from the motherboard. So now it can easily come off. So this is what the CPU fan looks like. It has a fan in the center. Let me focus. Yes, so now you can see there is a fan and the 2 copper tubes. Okay, this is the grill, so you may need to clean the dust off this. This is the main reason, sole reason for the laptop getting heated up, because this grill has too much of dust, because of which it blocks the airflow. And this is a connector. So that is it for the CPU fan part. If you flip it over, you'll see the thermal grease dried off, so you can just clean it up. I'll just keep it aside. Now let's just focus on the processor. You can see the thermal grease dried out on the processor. We need to clean that off. In your case, it may be completely dried off, so you can just remove it using the cotton cloth. Take extreme measures while removing this. You can also remove the processor by removing the screw below it. So just rotate it 180 degrees and the processor will slide off. Just blow off the heat inside the processor and then replace it and fix the screw. We are done with the cleaning part. Time to apply some thermal grease on both the processors. So here it is. I'm using a cardboard piece to apply the paste. You can maybe use a credit card or any visiting card or flat card. So the reason we apply this paste is to remove the air gap between the processor and the CPU fan connections. So in this way the heat is transferred from the processor to the copper pipes of the CPU fan, and the processor is cooled off. So let's just go ahead and apply a thin layer of this paste. Do not apply too much, so it will just spill out on other components. So we have applied the thermal grease on the processor. Time to put back the CPU fan. So here it is. I've just cleaned off all the dust on the fan and inside the air vents, so that the heating issue is solved. So I'll just place it. So after it is placed properly, the next thing you need to do is attach the connector, power connector. Time to put back the screws. After that, just fix the screws in their respective positions. So now it is time to attach the hard disk. I'll just slide the SATA connectors inside, and I'll just connect the two screws. So now the hard disk is in place. We will connect the two screws to fix the hard disk. After that, just place the hard disk cover, and again there are two more screws, so just fix it properly. Next, reattach the DVD-ROM. So just slide it inside your laptop and just fix that one screw. Now the last thing that remains is the battery. So I'll just turn it over and put the battery in place, and I'll just slide the locks. So we are done. So we have successfully reassembled the laptop and cleaned the CPU fan. The heating problem is gone now because we have removed the dust that was blocking the air passage. If you like this video, please hit the like button below. Do subscribe to our channel. This is Karan signing off from technofault.com. Thank you for watching.